Hi there, I'm Maggie Strong. Thanks for joining me. I have a few things here that I'm going to talk to you about. They're not really specific about any particular diet, really just a few quick tips and tricks so that you can go into the healthy living world a little bit more fueled up, a little bit more well-informed about some simple things that you can do to make your eating habits just that much healthier. So one of my favorite tricks is a lemon zester. And lemon zesters are great. You can see that they're quite easy to use. You just run them down the outside of the lemon. And what you wind up with is this, oh, we got a little bit of a tippage there. What you wind up with is this really pretty adornment that's super flavorful for salads or pasta or anything like that. And what's great about lemon zest is it gives you all of the flavor and all of the color, but none of the white bitterness that's actually the part of the lemon that you don't want in the salad. Cuts the calories, lots of flavor, a great way to spice up virtually any dish or any salad or any soup or anything like that. And you know, they're about $5, $6, maybe $10 for a really good one. Terrific addition to your healthy living, healthy eating lifestyle. Okay, so there's number one, great tip. Number two, read the labels. I know everybody on the face of the planet says read the labels, but here is why. Here we have Newman's Own, great brand. Paul Newman put together his brand of food and set up a foundation. They do wonderful things. However, when you read the label, what you want to look at is how much you're getting and what's in how much you're getting. So what we have here is about half a cup. That's what they're saying as a serving size, is half a cup. Well, if you actually look at what half a cup of sauce looks like, ask yourself honestly, when was the last time you had that much pasta sauce? Okay, so if you think to yourself, would I put that much pasta sauce on my pasta? Well, a lot of us eat a lot more pasta than that, and whether we should or not is a separate issue. We're going to talk about that in a moment. But if you look at how much sodium you're actually getting and how much fat you're actually getting for that half a cup of pasta sauce, you realize it's quite a bit of sodium, quite a bit of fat. Now, if you're eating a very light, sodium-free breakfast and lunch, that's fine. You can afford to have a little bit extra at dinner. However, if you're somebody like most of us who eats out a fair amount, maybe who eats at a restaurant, maybe who grabs a sandwich on the go, you may not actually be keeping an accurate tally on how much sodium, sugar, fat that you're eating throughout the day. So when you do have an opportunity to read a label and take a really good educated guess on how much of this product you're actually going to eat, it's an excellent opportunity to do a bit of an inventory and say, well, you know what, maybe this amount of sodium in this particular product is too high an amount of sodium. So here's my pitch for finding 15 minutes in the day to actually make your own pasta sauce, because this actually has a fair amount of sodium, it's got a little bit of sugar in it, etc., etc. You can make your own pasta sauce with tomato paste. And tomato paste is wonderful. It has no fat in it. It's got very little sodium in it. It's cheaper, it's effective. 15 minutes, half an hour, you can have a beautiful pasta sauce, and you know what actually goes into that. A really good way to mind your calories. So there you go, there's tip number one. And before you say, I don't have time, maybe do it before you sit down in front of the TV, maybe do it before you decide you have to move on to finishing up what you have to do from work, maybe make a batch on the weekend, etc. You do have to plan for these things, I'll give you that. When we're talking about reading labels, one of my favorite products of all time, and this is all food products, is actually yogurt. Love it, love it, love it. Fills you up, really good for you, good for digestive health. And of all the different kinds of yogurt, this is my favorite particular kind of yogurt. Olympic is a great brand. This is skim, and what I like about this particular skim yogurt is that it just has skim milk powder, and then the active bacterial cultures that make the digestive part of the yogurt actually work for you. The serving size for this particular yogurt is about 2/3 of a cup, and it's 80 calories, no fat, and you know, a terrific amount of calcium. So plain yogurt is still the #1 selling yogurt. I know that's probably hard for most people to believe. They probably think it's strawberry or something like that. But plain yogurt offers you a lot of flexibility. For example, you could take a really good quality jam and add just a teaspoon of it, mix it in, and you still have a really low calorie, tasty yogurt that doesn't have gelatin in it, that doesn't have aspartame in it, that doesn't have all sorts of fillers and additives, and something that I don't even know what it is, and that's modified milk ingredients. I mean, really, what is a modified milk ingredient? You want something that's a whole food, that doesn't have a lot of added ingredients, mysterious ingredients, and you definitely don't want any artificial sweeteners. So for my money and for the caloric intake, to stretch that as far as possible to get the best nutrition out of it, I prefer plain yogurt that I can then add maybe some currants or raisins or a little bit of nutmeg, cinnamon, that kind of thing to it. And really a terrific product. All right, product #4, flax oil. Everybody does need a little bit of fat in their diet. Flax oil is one of my personal favorites. It will make your hair grow like crazy. It'll make your nails nice and strong. It does wonderful things for your skin, and it's got a nice nutty flavor to it. It is not used in a frying pan. It's a cold press. It's not very stable. It's not like a hearty oil, which is like a safflower oil or say an olive oil, which is also, olive oil is quite good for you, but flax oil has incredible value to it. So I strongly recommend you have a little bit of it in the fridge, and you do need to keep it in the fridge. You can see that this particular brand is in a dark bottle. There's a reason for that, that keeps it nice and fresh, that keeps it from actually going rancid. It's a live product, so you need to keep it in the fridge, and you need to use it up fairly quickly. So a tablespoon of flax oil is a really good replacement, say, to a couple tablespoons of butter or other types of fat that maybe you're a little bit too heavy on throughout the day. Add it to a salad or add it to a pasta after it's been cooked, that kind of thing. So we've talked a lot about looking at what's in our food, how to add a little bit of extra nutritional value to the food that we eat. But we haven't talked a lot about how we actually eat it. And how we actually eat it is as important as what we're eating. We are programmed that bigger is better. You see things that are, you know, extra sized or supersized. And what I want to preach to you is the value of the side plate diet. So the side plate diet is really deciding to take your dinner and eating it on a smaller plate. This makes you feel like the smaller portions, which we should all be eating, are actually appropriately sized. So this is a large side plate, and this is a regular sized dinner plate. And I'm going to show you the difference in size. So the side plate that I have is about, I don't know, let's say an inch smaller, sort of in diameter, I guess, 2 inches in diameter smaller. And what that allows you to do is eat on a plate and not feel like you're depriving yourself. You've all seen the examples of food where you're supposed to have, that's your portion. And on a big plate like that, doesn't that look depressing? Poor little portion, all there by itself, alone on a plate. Dressed up on a smaller plate, a portion of, say this was a portion of chicken, yeah, it's about a portion of chicken, on a smaller plate, much, much more appropriate, makes you feel like you're eating a normal portion of food, and in addition to that, reminds you this is how much you should be eating. So I challenge you to take the side plate challenge and start eating your meals on a smaller plate. It just reminds you of how small things should be, and it also reminds you to stop after a certain amount of time, after you've had your first portion, and not go back for seconds until you sort of let that settle. So that's it for today. We've blazed through a whole lot of information. There's a lot more on my website. Please go to maggiestrong.com. I look forward to seeing you there. Thanks.